Let's a go. Yes, sirree. Looks like I am super de duper live. Super de duper live. Hopefully you can hear that so it's not me just bobbing my head in place here. What's up, creepers? And Geekers Christie, Atari Creep. How's everyone doing today? Let me just get something here. Let me just get something going here. So I can see what's going on. Hey, what's up? Video Game Polka. You know, my 4th was good. I didn't really do anything this year. I just kicked back. No, I think I was sitting here for most of the day. To be perfectly honest with you, getting things ready for today. I actually started a new career today. And I did most of my stuff virtually. So I think what I was doing, I was getting everything ready. Lance, what's up, buddy? What's going on? Getting everything ready for today. Normally we would have been up at my sister's place in New Hampshire. They got a nice big yard, and of course it's New Hampshire. Live free or fucking die, right? So you can blow things up legally. Within reason, I'm sure, in New Hampshire. So we normally go there. I'm not much of a drinker, but everyone drinks or does whatever they do. And there's a pool and a huge yard. And when it gets dark, we blow shit up, and it's a good time. But my sister chose not to do it this year. They traveled. So we just stayed home. I listened to the fireworks and saw what I could from my window. We're on the second floor of this two-family house, and my lady sat in the living room watching the pops and all that stuff on the television. So we didn't go anywhere, not for any other reason than it just didn't seem right. It didn't feel like the 4th of July without my sister's place, which is fine, because given everything. Well, my mom was sick. I was physically down here in Boston doing everything, but she was responsible for the paperwork and the financial aspect of it. She needed a break from everything. She just did not need to be hosting anything with that many people, because a lot of people do show up. A lot of people did show up normally to those things. So she needed a good fucking break. Let someone else fucking take care of it, and then we're going to get together at the end of this month, which is closer to her birthday. So, and blow shit up in my mom's honor, because she just loved fireworks. That was one of her biggest things. So we didn't do caca. All that chatting for me is just saying we didn't do anything. Okay, he says, I hear that we used to go to relatives for the 4th every year, but don't do that anymore. I miss it, but oh well. Yeah, it's nice when somebody, I got to put these on now while I'm realizing so I can read what people are writing. It's nice when you have people who can do that and do it comfortably. If I had my own place, I would host a few things. I would love to host Thanksgiving. But was it last Thanksgiving or the Thanksgiving before? I think it was this past one. Yeah, because it was kind of still during the pandemic. My mom came over for Thanksgiving to our house. It was literally me, my lady, her 2 kids, and my mom. And I just made actually a quite large bird. Like, to my girlfriend's chagrin, she's just like, why do you want a bird that big? I'm like, because I want to fucking eat turkey forever. I love turkey. I could eat it every fucking day. And I've proven that in the past. There was a time where I had a deep freeze. So when turkeys were on sale, I dropped them in my deep freeze. And I remember cooking them. Oh, man, my family just got so pissed. Maybe that's why I got divorced. Can you guys hear that at all? If not, I'm just going to put the damn guitar down. Mississippi Queen. You know what I mean? So. Haha, maybe that's why I got divorced, he says. Yes, that, I was a prick. That, and I was a very angry, unlivable person. I'll admit it. I was not a very good husband / father to my wife and children. I didn't beat anybody. I didn't fucking beat anybody or anything. But I was always angry and miserable. And it took losing my family to figure that out and figure out what was going on. So, good, you can hear the guitar. Good, 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 good. I hear the guitar, but I don't hear AC/DC on it. Well, I could do some AC/DC, but I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want copyright bullshit. You know what I mean? There you go. There's your AC/DC. It's ironic that I played that song because I was talking about My Highway to Hell. But yeah, no, I wasn't a very nice person back then. I wasn't much of a drinker either. I mean, I did drink then, but that didn't contribute to anything. I was just angry, and it turned out it was because I had an illness that I didn't know about, nor did I ever take care of, and it took a lot of years of working on it and learning skills and accepting that I was a cocksucker, I was a prick, and how to not be that person. So, you're welcome, Video Game Polka. That's I try to, please the masses. No, I don't. No, I don't. I please me first. And if you like it, fuck yeah. If you don't, sorry, dude. Sorry. Maybe next time. But I'll try. So, here's the deal. I don't know how many people I got in here. Let me move this over so I can see. Okay. So there's currently 5 viewers on here, according to my statistics. The reason I'm doing this stream is, well, because I have time. I just, like I said, just finished on online kind of orientation and this stupid training that you gotta do for new jobs. Don't sexually harass people. Here's what you do in an emergency situation, and why is diversity important? All that stuff, that's important. But if you're as old as I am, you've just been through it over and over again. And every now and again, they throw some new stuff at you. And I'm thinking to myself, I was going to do a video that was probably going to alienate me from a lot of the community, my friends. And this has honestly nothing to do with if you follow OEB Pete. He just came out with the video, should I stop talking about the Amico? This video has been planned probably about 3 or 4 days before that even happened. I saw something, and I'm starting to get this feeling within the community, specifically talking about Amico, that is really starting to disgust me. I'm not going to say who or on what side, because there's guilty parties on both ends, okay? It's not just the followers, and it's not just the people that are the naysayers. I'm going to try not to say haters. But there's like a very small clique within those groups that just take things to a degree that I just don't get. And there was something I saw the other day, and believe it or not, on the same day I saw something within my circles and something within their circles, because I'm right there down the middle, okay? I have my viewpoints, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. And I think it's important for me to get this out every now and again. I try to stay right there in the middle. I see everybody's point of view. And what I do is I separate. You know what, Video Polka? I'm not going to say that because I don't want to call anybody out on both sides. I'm really not. I just want you to say that I saw and read a few things, and it just really it bothered me. It bothered me. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a fucking game console, so it's like, really? But it bothered me, and it made me rethink my participation in a lot of things. But I try to stay right down the middle. Here's where I stand with the whole Amico thing, as just a blanket statement. I'm excited for it more for the experience of this whole thing, okay? Unfortunately, that experience is starting to sour because of behaviors of people, again, coming from both directions. I have said 100,000 times since day one that I'm probably a lot more excited about the experience of the whole thing. Pre-ordering a brand new system and getting to introduce myself to something and share it with you here on the channel. And then it just grew a little bit bigger. I kind of got on the inside a little bit. I'm not part of Amico or in television or anything, but you know, but it was more the vibe of the whole thing, and I'm under no illusions or delusions, I should say, as to what Amico actually is. Okay, I'm not in any kind of fantasy world. I know exactly 100% what it is, but there's a thing about what the Amico is going to do, regardless of price point, that screams to me. When the Coleco Chameleon dropped, oh my god, I was so excited for when that, it was originally called the VGS, the Retro VGS, right? I was excited. Go all the way back. I have a playlist just for that fucking nonsense too. I was wicked excited because it spoke to me. It spoke to me as far as what I need now. Do I think it was relevant at the time? Probably not. But it's something that I'm looking forward to, an experience that I have wanted to do. I mean, I'm kind of doing it with the Switch now. I'm not very good at this modern gaming thing. I'm really not. As hard as I try, I don't find a lot of enjoyment in it. I don't get the controls, and that's my P brand. I'm a fat Irish toothless fuck from Boston. I went to public school. You know what I mean? So, hey Linda, how you doing? Who's that? Is that Cigarette Juice Man? Thank you. I appreciate the kind words, my friend. What else did you say? That you said, I have a disabled son that is really excited about Amico. I don't know why they've not done more advertising. Yeah, you know what? Actually, we did have a while ago a video. It's obviously not the same situation that you're probably talking about, but how the Amico could actually help people with, I forget the exact thing we were talking about back then, but basically keeping people who have attention issues as far as not realizing the time that's going on around them when they're doing certain things. I mean, we all have that, but there's a group of individuals out there that have a little bit less of a, oh shit, I need to stop doing this, and how something like the Amico could help out. Seek it out. It's not monetized or anything. Whenever I talk about topics like that, I won't monetize it. But you're right. I totally agree with you. I totally agree. Daniel, what's up, buddy? Lance, yep, you're in here. Working and lurking. Right on, Linda. I'm glad you popped in. But going back to my point is I'm under no delusions of what it's going to be. It's exactly what I'm looking for. And when the Chameleon, I was like, okay, you know what? Fuck. Thank God that fizzled out as quick as it did. It was fun while the ride lasted, but I've been looking for that since then, believe it or not. You know, people say, well, you know, why? Well, why not? Who gives a fuck, right? Why? Does this need to exist? No, it probably doesn't need to. This doesn't need to exist, but it does. So I hate that argument. But for me personally, it's that. It's me probably from a different time period or this time period who wants that experience again. You know, again, good, bad, or indifferent, regardless of the quality of the actual, or not, I don't want to say quality. What would you call it? Like the graphic level of the games and all that. I'm a simple arcade kind of guy. And it does. It just speaks to me on whatever level it speaks to me on. And I'm excited about it. I know exactly what it is. I know it's not going to fucking flip my lid and make my balls blow off of my scrot. I know exactly what it is. And I think a lot of the more level-headed cats within my circle know exactly what it is, but they're still excited. They want to be excited for it, you know? We're not stupid. We know what it is. Now, there is a level of people who have no idea, and they think that this thing is going to be the greatest thing that ever hit the planet. Good for them if they think so and when they get it. But I need to stress that. I know what it is. I know 100% what it is. I really do. I really do. I also know what's going on revolving around it. And it's really getting to a point where I'm just, I'm disgusted with how people are behaving. Again, on both sides. The folks who are pro and the folks who are against. I'm not singling out any individuals, but there's a very small select group of those people. Some of them I consider friendly or friends here online. Um, it's bothering me. It's really bothering me. And all this over a piece of plastic. I don't know. Let me see what's going on here in the chat. I'm done with that part again, but I wanted to open it up just to do a final Q&A because I think I'm going to leave it alone. I think the Amico and I are not going to be talking much unless, of course, there's an update. If Tommy releases a trailer or Intellivision releases, here's a new game we're working on. Of course, I'm going to talk about that. But I figure if anyone, I'll answer to the best of my knowledge if it's one of those type of questions, but I'm going to give you it 100%, 100% honest. And if that alienates me from my friends or even Tommy himself, you know what? It is what it is. It's a game console, and if it's going to be something like that that's going to separate me from individuals, then you know what? Fuck off. There's the fucking door. I'll use your head to open it. It's really that simple. All right, let's see. What do we got going on here? Hi, Linda. You have some awesome videos. Cigarette Juice Man, you're 100% fucking right there. Linda's awesome. I'm hoping they make a haunted house type game for the Amico. Dude, have you watched, sorry if I just called you Cigarette. I'll just call you Smokey, okay? Cigarette Juice Man. One of my earliest videos on the Amico was wish list, and that was on my list, number one, I think. A creepy, kind of like 60s cartoon style. You remember there's a video online. It's Edgar Allan Poe. It's animated. Telltale Heart. Very chalky, not very animated. That style right there. 60s Halloween animation, haunted house game. I would love it. People should just be allowed to enjoy things. You know what? You're right. And I'm 50-50. I mean, there's room for debate in anything, really, honestly. But there's levels to which it becomes lunacy. And we've far surpassed that. If you grew up with the original Intellivision, Atari, Amico's a throwback type console. And it's in its simplicity. Yeah, and I'm trying to, and I'm begging, don't make it that kind of a product. Separate it. It's something that's brand new. That's honoring the legacy of the name in which it holds. That's how I want to look at the Amico. I don't want to look at it as a throwback system. In fact, I think one of the smartest things the Amico team is doing is not releasing the original games right away. They're going to release them in packages for X amount, like $5 or whatever. Don't quote me. Maybe there's like 10 games on there of the original Intellivision titles. And I'm happy that they're doing it later on in the system's life, because I don't want it to be, to the layman, just someone walking into whatever store and going, oh, wow, yeah, it's one of those little mini things, I want it to succeed on its own merits for what it has to offer. I don't want to say exclusively, but what it has to offer on its own abilities. You know what I mean? Whatever that may be. Video Game Poker says, this is Coleco Chameleon was an outright scam. And you know what? Everyone tries to compare, and I think the only comparison to the Coleco Chameleon that the VCS or this can even do is it was a legacy brand of the same time period. Atari, Intellivision, Coleco. Bam! That was your trifecta. I mean, there was a fuck ton of other little things all over the place, but at the core of everything, that was the three. And I think because of that, that shit was a scam like from day one. I'm sure he didn't set out to do that. I think what happened is he thought it would be fun to try to do something like that, and he got caught with his pants down, and then had to. And instead of just manning up and saying, you know what, I think we bit off a little more than we could chew, he went with it hoping that something would come up. Fucked up. He fucked up real bad. Let's see, Jay says, Rich said what needed to be said. Tommy has been getting a free ride. All right, so we're not going to be talking about that kind of thing. I don't give a fuck about what Rich said. We're not talking about Rich. We're most certainly not going to talk about Pat and Ian or any of the other dickheads out there. Rich isn't a dickhead. Let me take that one back. I like Rich. I like Rich in small doses. But we're here for me to purge and cleanse myself of it. If you want to debate the system all day long, whatever, I don't give a shit. But we're not here to talk about personalities. We're not here to talk about this, that, and the other thing. We're here for basically me to get off my chest everything about the Amico, how I feel, and what I think may or may not happen. But I want you to steer the ship. I want you to ask me those questions so I can be blunt and honest and not just come up with it. You know what I mean? I like how Tommy Ordo Necro says, I like how he compared it to the Wii in some interviews. Oh, shoot. Is my lady on her way home already? I hope not, because I really want to hang out here for a little while. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, okay, so they're going to be out until after 6 o'clock. Yay! Yeah, you know what? It's fair to compare it to the Wii. I'll give him that, you know? Wish Tommy would bring Mr. Do to the Intellivision Amico. Yeah, Mr. Do's such a great game. It's fun. We got a couple people talking about it. And thank you. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. Retro Advisory Board, what's up, man? Vacation coming up. Happy for you. Yeah, Saturday morning, at like 4 in the morning, we're going to get on a Sky Choo-Choo. We're going down to Florida, and I'm going to go play with a fucking mouse. I'm going to go play with mouse. Hey, I still have my purple Amico pre-ordered. I'm not a hater. Just need to be a little critical. And that's exactly what I am. You know, it's funny, in the ghost hunting community, people take the word a skeptic as someone who doesn't believe or anything. I think a good, healthy skeptic is someone who's open to it, but has questions. And that's me. I have my questions. And Jason asks, you're a fairly newer name to me. I would encourage you, not because I care about clicks and views, but go back into some of my videos. I'm praising it, of course, in a lot of them, but I'm very level-headed. I really am. I'll call out the bullshit when it needs to be called out. And I will say what needs to be said to my thoughts and feelings, of course. I mean, I don't mirror a lot of other people's, and I mirror others, you know. So, yeah, that's fine, man. That's awesome. I wanted to get a purple one, too, for Alzheimer's, but I don't have the extra cash to do that. When do you think the Amico will release? That's a good question. That's probably going to be my number one factor here as far as frustration levels. And it's okay to be frustrated, I suppose, as long as you're not hateful in your frustration. Again, I said in the beginning, I was a very angry, hateful person years ago, and that's how I lost my family. So I know about hate, and I know about anger, and I know what road that goes down. Not to sound like fucking Yoda or nothing, but do I think it's going to come out in October? I don't think so. For once, like last time it was going to get delayed, there was no doubt in my mind. There was no doubt in my mind. So I was already prepared for it. This time I'm going into it like, no, I'm still thinking it's coming out in October. But I think the reality is I don't think so. I don't see it happening. Not for any other reason than the circumstances all surrounding it. The shortages of the ships and whatever. Of course, them being a small fish in a big pond, they got to take the fucking scraps. They got to take the scraps, you know? Now, if we get an announcement in August that it's not coming out in October, it's not going to change my mind on wanting it, and it's not going to change my mind on my pre-order, my founder's pre-order. But it's going to upset me. I will admit that. It's going to upset me, and I'll probably come out with a video that's going to be all huff and puff. But at the end of the day, again, it's just a console. And when it comes out, hopefully I'll get to enjoy it. You know? What you play with your business? What you play with is your... Oh, yeah, what you play with is your business. I'm sorry. I spent it all day in an online orientation, so my brain's all wacky here. Thank you for keeping it real. Would you like to see game packs like how they do in the Evercade? You bet your ass. And like I was talking about a little bit ago, that's the original plan for the initial, the original Intellivision catalog, to do it in packs like that. For new games, no. And until they become a little older, only because at the price point that they're having, I would like the developers to be able to squeeze as much out of it as they can. So I wouldn't want to see new games pack, but like a board game pack or something like that. Sure, you know. But unless the game has like a year or so already in, I wouldn't want to see new games developed for the system in packages. And that's mainly for the creators. That's coming from an artist standpoint, you know. Cyrus Martin, what's up, buddy? Love your channel. Rock on, bro. Love your take on all of this. I appreciate that, dude. I really do appreciate that. And you know what? This is going to everybody. And Linda should know this. I'm there in the shadows. If I'm subscribed to you, I'm watching. So I have been watching your stuff lately, Cyrus. And I totally feel everything that you're feeling. You know, as far as the stressed outness of all this crap. Just hang in there, man. My dad used to say, just bob and weave. Go with the punches. And just do what you got to do. Let's see what else we got here. Cigarette Juice Man says, what console and games are you going to bring? Everything's jumping now. For your vacation. 0. No, actually that's not true. I have my Games Atari Portable ready to go for the plane trip, and that's it. When I'm in Disney, I'm not going to play any games. I'm just gonna kick back and enjoy Disney. Video games aren't going to exist. If there's a cabinet there and I have a few minutes to throw a quarter or 12 into it, yeah, I'll do that. But for the most part, no. Once I'm down there, I'm all Disney, and more importantly, Haunted Mansion / Galaxy's Edge mode. Yeah, I'm all about building that lightsaber and then getting the Legacy one and doing all kinds of stuff. I've been saving up. I got the. Everyone should know the bucket. Both the Disney and Amico bucket. Which the Amico bucket doesn't have any money in it because the Amico money is already put aside somewhere, and I'm ready to rock and roll whenever it does come out. Auto Necro, thank you, bro, for the $2. I really appreciate. You don't have to do that. You guys don't have to. I keep forgetting that's even fucking there. It's even there. I don't know. Maybe I can put that money aside and get myself some teeth. I don't know. Let's see, Daniel. What's Dan saying here? I hope it doesn't get pushed back. Also, I still would love to see a Lincoln Log game. Really? I don't know how, like virtually putting stuff together with Lincoln Logs? Almost like a Sims game, but Lincoln Log, or I should say, what is that, Roller Coaster Tycoon, but with Lincoln Logs? Alright, so what's my opinion on the Evercade VS? It's alright, I guess. I'm actually steering towards getting an Evercade. Mainly for the Lynx collections. And I mean, I'll get the other ones too. As far as the VS is concerned, I don't think I'm into that. The Evercade can be hooked up into to a TV. I guess I'm fine with that if I want to do that. But if I were to get something like the Evercade, it would definitely be something like this. I don't need something to hook up to my TV to play most of those games. What I'm recording on right now, I can do that more comfortably than I can in the living room. You know why I don't play the Switch too often on the channel? Because I can never get my fucking hands on the TV. You know, I got 3 ladies in this house. 3 ladies. You would think that would sound like a dream come true, right? But aside from that, that room right here behind me, I'm hardly ever in. Honestly, you ask them, I'm never in the living room. I never touch the TV. I hardly ever get to use a Switch. I mean, I know I could bring it out here, but I don't like little screens, and that's why I'm not into handhelds. But the Evercade, I think I'm more into. I think I'm more into the actual handheld part of it than I would be for the actual console. It's a great idea. Don't get me wrong; it's a fucking great idea, but not for me. October will be hard. Everything is on back order. Auto parts, electronic parts, everything. I know. I mean, guitar parts are actually a lot easier to find right now than I thought they would be. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, working on a couple of things. But you're right, and that's my biggest fear. That's... As soon as I didn't see a date on the E3 coverage, that's what told me. That's what told me and solidified to me that October 10th, sadly, is probably not going to be the date. I have no insight on anything. I haven't actually talked to Tommy in a good couple months anyway. Not even in a fun little, direct message with a meme or something like that. We do that periodically, because politically we think the same, and we have the same kind of sense of humor when it comes to politics and crap. But so whatever I'm saying here is just all coming from me, not from anyone in television, not from my buddies or any groups or chats or anything like that. I don't know. I just don't see it coming out. And if it does, it's going to be fucking amazing. But if it doesn't, I'm going to be upset, but I understand. And, I mean, there's more to it than just that. I mean, the date itself is special to him, too, My Ford has been at the dealer for 3 weeks waiting on a back-ordered part. What is it you need for your Ford, Stacy? Before anyone starts puking on Fords, I'm a Ford guy. I own a GMC Suburban, 99 Suburban, but typically I'm a Ford guy. I love Fords. Johnny UPS, hello there. Thank you for coming in. Do you think Nintendo may have used its financial influence to help intensify the chip shortage for Amico? You mean, like, purposely? I don't think so. I don't think they give a shit, honestly. I mean, Nintendo is a type of company that's very militant, I guess, when it comes to the money side of things. So I suppose they could look at any console and be like, okay, this may not be a threat now, but you never know. You never know. Because they were that people at one time. They were that people. But I don't think they did something like that. They very well could have. But I don't think so. I don't think so. Hell yeah, dude. That sounds like an awesome vacation. Got some awesome Coke bottles. I have one of those bottles. A friend of my girlfriend's was at Disney, and she brought one back for me. I got this little display of older Star Wars stuff and some of the droids that I've built. Not canon droids. Just I like to take junk and make like things out of it all the time. They call that super glue modeling. And I have one of those Coke bottles over there. I wanted to customize it, but I'm going to leave it alone. Maybe I'll bring a couple home from Disney this time around. But let's see. I wanted to see the Amico this weekend in Easton, PA. But that's another thing we need to talk about. That upsets me. And I'll tell you why. And you know what? I'm a sniveling, whining little bitch about this. I really am. Okay? Here comes, my little girl bloomers are getting pulled up. Let's talk about this East Coast fucking presentation thing. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I don't know how much of it's actually officially out there yet. But since someone else brought that up, I'll just say that there is going to be something. Okay? And it's happening the day I'm fucking leaving for Disney. Bitter fucking sweet, right? The day I leave for Disney. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to eventually be able to play the Amico. Hopefully this October. Disney's not something that you can do all the time. So, yeah. So this is I'm struggling to say this because I know I'm going to sound like a little bitch about it. And you know what? I don't give a fuck at this point. I've said it a couple of times. A few times I've said it to bust balls, and other times I've said it because of being butthurt about something. But if you go far back, like it was me and maybe randomly somebody here and there. Once the initial in television announcement was made, a lot of people talked about it, but then everyone shut up about it. I kept going and going, and I had that torch high, and I was the fucking dude. I was the dude. I think there should be something there put aside for the OG Amico guys who have put up with all the bullshit all this time and have been fucking flying that flag. Maybe not as much as others anymore, but at the time I was the guy. And for the Amico to be less than 3-4 hours away from me on a weekend, and it happens to be one that I fucking already have plans for that I can't just postpone because Disney doesn't wait for nobody. Pisses me the fuck off. When I saw that date, I'm like, you motherfuckers. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's just a console. So, yeah. All right, let me go back here. Go up to Fun Spot for an afternoon. Enjoy yourself. Billy O, I'm working on some new things in my life right now, but I know you've been mentioning that quite a bit. I'll make it up there. I'll make it up there. I started a new career today. I'm no longer Mr. Mom. Fuck working for the school. I loved working for the school. But screw that mom hours bullshit. I stumbled upon full-time. I thought it was just going to be work, but it turns out I'm starting a whole new career here. And we'll talk about it soon. Live in the moment. Says, what's up, AC? Keeping the Amico faith. Yep. Can't wait to get back to Fun Spot and play Warlords again. Warlords is a badass game, Doug. I also playing. Okay, you guys are talking amongst yourselves at school. The dude abides, man. Dude, how come Tommy never invites you to stuff? I learned about Amico from you. He has. He's invited me to see the thing. I'm in Boston. He's in California, and I was a part-time guy. You know. I wouldn't call myself poor, but I don't have a lot of expendable income. I have just enough to have fun, and you know what? I'm okay with that. But Tommy and I have talked quite a bit, especially in the early days. He was more than willing to let me, do. It's more on me. It's more on me and my wallet, more so than anything. So, congrats on your new job. Thank you, Doug. I really appreciate that, man. I pre-ordered the Founders Edition of the Evercade Versus. Or VS, sorry. Is it Versus or is it just VS? It's not Virtual System, is it? You tell me. I don't know too. I just know that the handheld's looking more enticing as days go on. I've discovered quite a few games from the collection that I probably wouldn't have played. Yeah, I love shit like that, man. There are plenty of times I will, be introduced to stuff that I would never have before if it wasn't for like some of you folks. In the past, people have sent me stuff that I would never have bought in a million fucking years. And I probably still have it to this day, Let's see, congratulations. Chrono Prime says, with all due respect, I think, again, it's a bad look for in Tommy's inner circle get to play instead of letting the journalist gamers play. Maybe I'm wrong. Your thoughts are not wrong at all. You're right. That is a bad look. But Tommy opens that up to anybody, really. All right. I said we weren't going to be talking about other personalities. Let's just take Pat and Ian, okay? They've been invited. Now, whether they went for whatever reason, I don't want to talk about that. I don't care. But he has opened that up to multiple people. He's said it multiple times. You want to talk? Let's talk. You want to ask me questions? I'll answer anything you got. You want to come look at the fucking thing? There's just certain limitations. You can't do... You can just say, this was my experience and this is how I feel. Whether you like it or you don't like it or you just think it's mad, But that's common business stuff anyway. I mean, if you're trying to launch something new, you don't want it out there until it's ready to be out there. But plenty of people have been invited to come see this thing. I think he needs to get it more in the face of the public. Never mind journalists and stuff. I mean, you could sit there and I could sit here and talk about journalism and stuff. Because I guess technically what I do is journalism. But you get the idea of what I'm talking about. We're here talking and reporting about things. And hopefully sharing passions, whether they be positive or negative, towards a specific thing. So we can sit there and be like, well, journalism needs to be, fuck journalism. Yeah, they're important. But I think he needs to be fucking putting this thing in the mall or something like that for people to walk by and be like, ooh, what is this? When it's ready, I suppose. But he asks people all the time, do you want to come see it? As far as large, I don't know. Large journalists, like IGN or something like that. I don't follow any of that, so I don't know all the big outlets. I don't know if they've been asked to or not, but I'm pretty sure the invitation's there. I don't know. When that thing coming out on the Evercade VS. Okay, you guys are talking amongst yourselves. VS as in Versus. It's got a 4-player option. Okay, so it's not virtual system. It's what I was initially thinking, a Versus system. Okay, good. Pat and Ian are in San Diego, 2 hours away from LA. They're just too lazy and cowards. I don't think they're lazy. And I don't know if I want to call them cowards. For sure, how Genesis was in the mall to try to play. Yeah, I guess. Fucking phone. It's probably some scumbag anyway. Trying to tell me my social security card has been fucking deactivated. Yep. And to them I say, Jesus, thank you. Does that mean you're not going to take any more social security from me? Because I got a good 401k saved up and I've got a new one coming in. So, fuck social security. Although, I do want my money, so. But going back to Pat and Ian, I don't think it's laziness. I think it's, I think in that situation, it's not even about the Amico. It's about their personalities. Tommy versus Pat. Tommy versus Ian. And I think it's more people trying to save face. You know what I mean? I don't think that they're going to go there and be like, oh my God, you know what? You're right. This is the best thing on the planet, Tommy. All hail. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to get there and be like, okay, yeah, it's simple shit. And it's exactly what we said it was. I say do it. I say do it. I mean, if you're really that, I would. I know I would. If I was totally against it and I had the means and ability to go check it out myself. Again, I don't want to talk about other personalities, but like with Smash JT, he was puking all over the fucking thing. Tommy's like, come on over. So they went over, and you can say whatever you want to say about whatever, but it flipped the script. You know, that could happen with Pat and Ian. Maybe just one of them. Maybe neither one of them. But I think it's still fair to be critical and comment on things, but I don't think you can truly make judgment if you've had the opportunity to actually experience anything. Same goes for these tissues. I can't tell you if these tissues are great for snot if I've never put it in my mouth. I can look at it and be like, wow, that looks strong enough to hold snot. But I can't tell you if they're good until I've fucking blown some boogies into it. That's where I'm coming from when it comes to them too. So I don't even watch them. Anything that comes out of their face holes is I take it with a grain of salt. Pat, he's all right. He's just a goofball. His head's a little big now. And Ian's a cocksucker. I fucking hate that kid. I hate him. And it's his attitude. It has nothing to do with the Amico. I hate the fucking puss that kid has when he just sits there and... The fuck out of here. People like that piss me off. All right. Let's see. What else we got here? For sure. Sort of like how... Genesis, okay, I already read that one. Tommy has mentioned store kiosks in the plan several times. Right, but that's in the future, I'm sure. You got to crawl before you walk, you know what I mean? I mean, we could sit here and talk about all the things wouldn't that be some things, but initially the game system has to come out with quality games. The product has to be good, and he needs to build upon that, you know what I mean? Work on the initial product, make sure it's everything it needs to be, and hopefully and then some. And then work off of it from there. It'd be great to see a television kiosk again. That would be awesome. In fact, I would try to get my hands on one. I would like that. I would like that very much so. I'm laughing so hard at the Ian description. Yeah, dude, I hate to be a jerk. And I try to find something positive about everything and everybody. Especially working 13 years in corrections. You start honestly believing that the human race is not good. And I still kind of have that. I mean, I'm not a people person. Never have been. But I'll be positive until I'm made to not be positive. Ian, I've gotten to meet a lot of personalities, and I kind of know where those personalities are and where they go and where they've come from. And there are certain people that are good, some people that are bad, and just some people that are just kind of a waste product. You know, they're not good, they're not bad, they're just kind of a waste. He's that. He's that. You guys can call me out, or anyone can call me out for however I said that, but wait a minute, hold on a second. Geek Getaway, what's up, dude? Thank you, man. Creep it real, meat bags. I almost started this one off by saying meat bags. I like calling people meatbags. You kind of stole that from me, Tony. Thank you, dude. I really appreciate that, Tony. See, I can be polite to people who are on the opposite side of things. I always have been. Pick up any new horror toys? No. Yes, sorta. It's not new, but I haven't made a video on it, and I literally just opened it. The only reason I haven't made videos is because there's other ones in the line that I cannot find. This came from... let me put it on the side. You still can't see it. Oriental Trading Company. It's kind of like a mini version of Mighty Max, if that makes any sense. It came with 5 little minifigures. I don't want to open this because they go bloom everywhere. But there's like a skull head, there's a zombie one, there's a mummy one, and, you know, I was hoping to find them all, but this was like a Facebook ad for like $4, but it was through Oriental Trading, so I trusted it. And I picked it up for $4.99. It was worth it for me. But that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think. I've been actually working on things more than picking them up. Working on that bass guitar that has the monsters on it. I finally got this together, which is my new favorite thing ever. I'm working on a Skeletor bust that's bronze. I got to patina it here pretty soon. And I did print a pedestal last night for him. So I have to get that painted. Have I picked up any monster toys? No. I'm sorry if that disappoints you, but no, I really haven't picked up any. I've been saving my dimes for Galaxy's Edge, really. Anyone who takes pleasure in tearing others down is garbage to me. And I can agree with that. Maybe there are reasons why that individual does that, though. And if we can get to the root of that, if they're just a prick, then they're just a prick in 100%. But there are some people who do that, and there's reasons for it. I'm not trying to condone it. But if you dig through those reasons, maybe you can help them. You know what I mean? But that's up to each individual and your skills and abilities and give a fuck. Whether you give a fuck to do it or not. So, yeah, I try to look at every situation like that. Let's see. What else we got going on here? That's awesome. Video game polka, I believe, supported November 3rd. Okay. Let's see. I will celebrate nearly anything with nearly anyone. Life's more fun filled with wonder. It really is. Have you ever been to Salem? As in Salem, Massachusetts? Yes. Yeah, I'm 15 minutes away, 20 minutes away. Depending on traffic. There's an area there called the Willows that, God, I went to a lot as a kid. A lot. Have I done any of the Salem tours with the witches and all that? No. I mean, there are people around here that are into that, but it's kind of like, you know, I mean, I'm technically a local, you know. That history was taught in school here. I don't know if it is anywhere else. I'm sure it's mentioned as part of our history, but we did plays and shit on the trials growing up. But I've never done any of the witch tours or anything like that. And to be perfectly honest with you, I mean, good for Salem for being able to embrace that and take... It's a great example of... Oh God, we're going to get political here, aren't we? Of an ugly part of our past being not celebrated, but embraced to a point where it's actually helping the community and it's teaching us to not be those fucking scumbags. You know what I mean? It seems like in a culture like today that we want to erase all that history. And I get the points going on with like maybe taking a statue down or whatever. But if you go too far and erase it altogether, it only takes one generation for that to not be a thing anymore. And as ugly as some of our past is, it needs to be known. It needs to be out there. We need to sit there and say, you know what? We fucked up. Please don't do this in the future, children, because we didn't know what we were doing and we fucked up. And this is how it went down. And take whatever it is that we did, find out what went wrong, and don't repeat that shit. I hate doing the whole dusting, putting the dust underneath the mattress thing. I've only been to Cape Cod. It was great. Oh God, I have pictures of my grandmother had a house in Hyannis. She loved the Kennedys. Say no more. My parents ended up selling it a couple of years after she died. We're in a situation where we kind of needed to sell it. We didn't really want to deal with renters, and it just became a tax problem or whatever. So we sold it. But I used to go down to the Cape all the time. We call that a little slice of paradise here. The Cape is literally like paradise. You know, it's not too far away, but it's enough not like up here in the city. Fucking love the Cape. What part of the Cape did you go to? Do you remember? Salem, correct. I heard it was amazing. Yeah, I mean, going back to the whole Salem thing. I mean, their cop cars have witches on them. Okay, good for Salem. Good for Salem. It's a thriving industry. Salem has a lot of not nice areas though, and hopefully they're cleaning that up. There is some substance abuse issues there that hopefully they will get under control. If this country would stop criminalizing people with substance problems, I'm not saying sweep it under the rug. They need to be dealt with. But I think our biggest problem is criminalizing versus mental health or behavioral health. So, Woods Hole. Oh, okay, Woods Hole. I don't know if I've been there. I'm trying to think. I don't know. It's been years since I've been to the Cape, actually. I went to Plymouth. Not Plymouth. I went to, it's kind of by the Cape. I can't remember, to pick up a play set for $3. I drove all the way down there for a $3 play set. But it was the Wayne Manor from, I think it was from the 90s. But I have my Amico mini monsters in it because it looks like a haunted mansion. So I have them. Again, there's a video about it here somewhere, probably in my Atari Creeps Playthings playlist, but I can't remember exactly where it was. But it was down by the Cape, and we almost went to Hyannis after that because it was close enough. But great people and coffee in Hyannis. I love coffee. I could drink coffee all day if my fucking heart didn't hate it. I miss the lobster rolls and fresh seafood. Oh man, fresh seafood's year round for us. But lobster rolls, you just fucking hit the nail right on the head there. Okay, October comes around. I'm not much of a pumpkin spice, but I do like a lot of harvest flavors, so to speak. The fall is my jam. It really is. But lately, the past decade or so, I should say, eggnog comes out in October now. Very limited. Batches. But I look forward to it. I geek for it every year. Like, it's July. And in July, us weirdo fall people, us Halloween fucking aficionados, are already thinking, I mean, we're thinking about it year round. But when July finally hits, bam, our season is here. This is the pregame. This is the primer, you know? So much like that with the eggnog, I'm like that with fucking lobster rolls. And I saw an ad that we have I'm going to call it local because they did start here in Massachusetts, a restaurant chain called Friendly's. They suck now, but it is what it is. They advertise that they got a lobster roll this year. Maybe they've had it. I'm not eating a lobster roll from fucking Friendly's. No way, Jose. But we go up to Rockport, and that's usually where I get my lobster rolls. It's a little bit more expensive, and they're usually smaller. You know, $25 will get you something that's like 5 inches. Whereas if I just went down the street to, we have a place, look it up. It's called, of course I'm not going to fucking remember. Turner's Seafood. Turner's Seafood. I can go down there and get a lobster roll any day for $25 and just get this fucking mound, which is what I should do. But it's about the whole thing. It's about the whole thing. Hey, what's up, George? Is it George? I never knew how to say that. Is it George just with a Q, or is it George? Not being smart, but let me know if I came even close. But thank you. Thanks for coming by. And how are ya? Um, lobster rolls, man. Nah, see, now I want a fish sandwich tonight. We have a couple places here on Revere Beach. Is a place called Kelly's Roast Beef. Kelly's on the beach, world famous. Yes, it's George, but spelled with a Q. Okay, I just want to make sure I wasn't Some people really get upset when you mispronounce their names, and I'm horrible at that stuff. So I try to be respectful. You get the drill. But they have a really good fried haddock sandwich. Yeah, I want fish tonight. And you know what? The ladies are probably going to have supper because they're out getting. We bought a new phone for one of the girls, one of the kids, because her phone was just all bogged down. Their phones were there. All right, they got these phones from their nieces or their cousins rather, our nieces, as hand-me-downs, and it was kind of like a let's see how we do with the cell phone thing, and they did well. So they've had those for a little over a year, maybe even 2 years now. But poor Lily's was always bogged down. I don't know what the fuck her cousin did to the thing, but it was okay because she's not really a cell phone person. But it got to the point where it was just ugly, so we went out and bought her a brand new one. And like 3 days later, even after she had a case, it just fell just right. The angle of the dangle was in proportion with the heat of the meat. Everything was aligned, and it hit the floor just right. The whole screen just went. Whoosh. So they're out there getting it fixed, but they're not going to be done until at least 6:30. So the point I'm even making there is they're probably going to have supper. And as soon as I get done with the stream, I'm probably just going to run down the probably Billy's roast beef and get me some fishies. Some fishies to put in my face hole. Or I can go to Friendly's and get a fisherman jig. That's good. That's a good sandwich. I'm just not going to eat a lobster roll from Friendly's. Although, Friendly's was my first legit job. We had two here in the town I grew up in. And we used to go to one and just hang out, play cards at the table, smoke, and just drink coffee all night long, you know. Order food once in a while. And the the general manager, this guy named Ken, walked over to me one day and says, I've been talking to your mother, threw an apron at me. He said, if you're going to be here, you're either going to pay rent or you're going to fucking make a paycheck. I ended up being the general manager of a corporate training Friendly's location in Woburn, Mass. It's not there anymore. It's now a Wendy's, but if I had worked for Friendly's and they had lobster rolls, I probably would still pick at the lobster meat all day long, but no. I had a phone that landed flush with the floor and the whole screen shattered. You know what? The reason I have this exact phone is because I never put cases on my phones. Not for any other reason than I just kept forgetting to. You know what I mean? Or if I threw my phone, because I'm calm and cool, but I still have that Irish attitude. And once in a while, I'm just like, fuck! You know? But it did. It didn't even sound like it broke. It just made like a thump. And I picked it up and I was like, all right, looks like we're getting a new phone. It was due for it anyway. That phone was like 4 years old. So, what does it say? I feel the homeless in Red Lobster cheesy biscuits every week. You feed the... Yeah, right on, man. There's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. Do you work for Red Lobster? I ate at a Red Lobster a couple times when I was in Arizona. A girl I was dating at the time was really excited. She's like, oh, it's like right up your alley. Let's go to Red Lobster. And unfortunately, being from the Boston area, we kind of look at Red Lobster as like the McDonald's of seafood. It's not. It's not. The quality, I got this big, actually it was a Boston steamer. Coincidentally, not because of anything else, but It had the sausages and it had the crabs and it had the lobsters and the potatoes and all that. It was just this big fucking. Oh, maybe that was Joe's Crab Shack. But either way, we did go to a Red Lobster a couple of times, and I remember enjoying what I had. But we always joke about that all the time. Like it's like Italian folks going to like Olive Garden. There's areas where like that's Italian food. Not here when you have Marie's place down the street, and then you also have like Mama Tessie's place. You know. I grew up eating shit that was generations of recipes, even in the restaurants. You know what I mean? I still eat at this place called the Melrose House of Pizza. It's been around since like 1971, I think. The only reason I don't eat at Caruso's Pizza, which has been around since the 60s, is because Don McGill died. And his family wanted nothing to do with carrying on with this. So it's like, fuck, greatest pizza on the planet. I call it McSalty's. That's nice, I like that. Hold on. Fuck yeah. No, Red Lobster's okay. It serves its function. It serves its function. No, I work at the food and care. Oh, nice. It's a combo soup kitchen. Okay, that's awesome, my friend. That is okay. I'm gonna let you guys in on a little creep secret. Shh. Keep this between us. I was homeless for a number of years. Yes, sir. When me and my family split up, I lost it. I fucked up my career. I fucked up my family and eventually became homeless. Until I discovered what we talked about earlier and worked on it. I got my career back, but then my hip went bad. I had to do that. But how come Connecticut drivers are the worst? I don't know. I stay in Boston. Sorry. People think we're the worst. We're just aggressive. We're just aggressive as fuck. I forgot how aggressive we were in the 15 years I was in Arizona. And I come back, I mean, of course it all came back to me, but if you've never driven, well, you know what? That one curve on 93 doesn't exist anymore, but there was one curve after you came out of the tunnel going into town on 93 where it literally just went, whoop! And we would still hit that like 70, 80 miles an hour. And you could tell who was not from around there, who had never driven on 93 at that point, because they would all just kind of slow down and take it safely. And meanwhile, we're all two-wheeling it all the way fucking around the corner. And everyone's like, what the fuck? I miss those days. But no, that's great. Soup kitchen, that's fulfilling work. It's a lot of stress and a lot of heartache, I'm sure, at times. But good for you. Good for you. I appreciate you doing that. I really do. I was that guy on the other side of that line for a while. For a long while. Longer than I fucking needed to be. You know what I mean? A lot of it was me. I had a lot of hands. I had a lot of hands reaching out. I told them all to fuck off. Because of pride. God bless you, Creep. Congratulations on getting everything straightened out. I haven't gotten anything straightened out, but I'm not homeless anymore. No, I appreciate that. I really do. You know, I just had to reboot the brain. My head went in places it shouldn't have. And I found out there was something going on inside of there that I never paid attention to. You know, call it what it is. I let that go on way too long without diagnoses or treatment. And I still have to fight with it every day, but at least now I know, and I have tools. I have tools to hopefully combat it. And you know what? I sit there and say I was super angry, and I was probably scary to live with. Again, I never physically did anything with my kids or my wife, and I know that's okay. Well, you know, being a prick can also, you know. And me and my daughters have talked since then. And, you know, it is what it is. But that comes out once in a while still. And I'll let the ladies know, look, I'm kind of having a deal. I'm going to kind of separate for a little bit. But if they see I'm gone for too long, they will come in and be like, okay, you've had a few moments. But don't fucking isolate too long because that's not, you know, that's equally not as good. And talking about this, fuck, I didn't know this was going to turn into a fucking Dr. Phil session. And it's okay. It's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I found my new career through this very incident. I was going to get something, and I saw that there was a career fair, and just for shits and giggles, I sat down with the lady. There was nobody in there. And next thing you know, about a month or two later, I have a license to work in this industry, and I did my online orientation stuff. Friday, I'm going to be going in for the first day to be within the facility. And then I'm going to go to Disney the next day. Yeah! So, I'm pretty happy about that. I'm finally getting my shit together. So, Jason S. says, I spent 6 months in a homeless shelter myself. I hope it was a decent one, man, because I know those places can be fuck. I got lucky, and I got to hang out at this place in Arizona called CASS, C-A-S-S. And it wasn't necessarily a homeless shelter. It was a homeless campus that had every resource on the fucking face of the earth. If you needed to find a job, they got you a job. If you didn't have clothes for an interview, they had a wardrobe. If you needed anything, there was a priest that would come every couple of times a week or whatever. If you needed a birth certificate or some kind of identification, he would work with you on that. There were classes you could take. There was mental health stuff. There was physical health stuff. It was such an amazing resource. Unfortunately, people didn't take advantage of it. They just used the shelter part of it. And the campus itself became fuck. And I wasn't smart enough to spend my day away from that. I stayed on campus during the day, trying to eat up these resources to, get on my feet. Meanwhile, instead of just going out there and finding something to do, I was there, let myself get pulled down with all the negativity around me and all that crap. So, homeless shelter for veterans. Even more so. I hope it was... I don't know much about veteran sheltering situation. I know VA isn't what it needs to be for you folks. Thank you, by the way. I really appreciate it. Whatever your capacity was. Biggest joy of my job is seeing my friends, our clients, graduate. Okay, so you probably, George, know what I'm talking about, that type of place. I can imagine how wonderful that is. I can imagine how wonderful that is. You have an amazing family. You talk about it, probably helps someone listening. Oh, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Thank you, cigarette juice man. But homeless shelter for veterans. You know what? Those are fucking words that should not exist. There should be no homeless shelter for veterans. Period. Not meaning that they don't have a place to go. Meaning there shouldn't be... We won't get into that. I mean, I know there are different circumstances and different situations for everybody. So there are some that are just hot on their luck. Some of them just not doing well up here. And others who just don't fucking care. I know. But I'm going to just blanket statement say there should be no homeless. Veterans of all fucking people. Children and veterans. And then everyone else can just get whatever they get. Right there for you, brother. Ooh-wee. We were told we were going to get a thunderstorm. It just got really dark out. And it's rumbling. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear or see any of that. But let's hope the power doesn't go out. It doesn't often. But that would be my luck in the middle of a stream, right? We give vouchers at the local thrift store to get clothes. That's great. We let clients use our place for an address. Yep, we were able to do that too. We have showers, laundry. Now, okay, stylists for hair, hygiene kits. This is how it worked at that one that I was talking about. They had all the resources in this thing that was shut. Ooh, it's about to get loud out there. The food came from separate entities. Please tell me you guys heard that. Wow. Like the St. Vincent de Paul's did breakfast and lunch, or lunch and supper, and another one did The odd one. I think St. Vincent de Paul's did breakfast and lunch, and the other one did supper. The only thing I didn't like is all the restrooms didn't have doors. It was just a row of toilets, and I'm a shy pooper. I'm a really shy pooper, but I understand why they do it. And, you get used to what you got to get used to. There was a laundry facility on campus, but again, it was a separate entity. It was like you had the campus with the resources, and then other things kind of popped up around it that we were allowed to use. So, and I can see where people could get, hey, fuck it, this is my life now. That's on them. You would have churches and stuff come out to the campus and pass out like hygiene kits and shit for your teeth, which obviously I didn't use. That's where a lot of this came from. That, and actually there was a genetic thing with my teeth that were weak, and I could have had it fixed years ago, but depression. It sucks. And like when the Obama phones were around, there was a couple of cats that would come around and help everybody get one of those if they need it. It was just really good as long as you used it for what it was supposed to be used for. All clients are assigned a caseworker. Yep. Ooh, that's close. To get job and housing. See, I never made it that far. This is what would happen. I would be there, and something would happen, and I'd end up in the hospital. And then I'd end up back there, or I chose a different, we had churches that would let you stay there, but you became their indentured servants, and I didn't like that. So I wasn't in cast the whole time, because there's no way in hell I would have been there for years and not gotten resources. I know plenty of people who got back on their feet through that place. But Original Next Level Gaming, what's up, brother? Thanks for coming by, man. Appreciate it. Let's see. We have staff that cooks all the meals. Donations of food come in from over restaurants, groceries. That's awesome, man. Dude, that's such fulfilling work, man. Sup, brother Mike? Hey, Mike, are we not friends on Facebook anymore? Or are you just not on Facebook anymore? You made me sad. I've been posting some gems of fucking political memes. And I stopped seeing your activity. I wept. Oh, it's really coming down now. God damn. Ooh-wee. What's up, brother Mike? We're talking about what? Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, that's my experience with all of that. That's a far cry from talking about Amico. No, maybe it's not. That is sounding amazing outside. It really is. I want to be on my porch right now, but that's all right. I'm sure there'll be other storms. Relic Gamer, what's up, brother? How are you, AC? Listening well? Working. Sorry, you won't be at the event. You know what? It is what it is. We talked about that earlier. I had my temper tantrum. Actually, I think I'm going to actually make a separate video about it, because I am butthurt. I am fucking butthurt. Not at anyone in particular, but the situation. I feel a little bit entitled to, if the Amico's on this side, I should be above all playing it. I'll admit that in a crass, fun kind of way. But you know what, dude? I'm going to fucking Disney, alright? I can be upset not playing the Amico next weekend while I'm in Galaxy's Edge, flying the Millennium Falcon. Fucking first world problems, my friends. First word, we got to put it in perspective. We got to put it all in perspective. Let's see. What do we got here? We got someone named Dick Sensei. Is that it? I can barely see it. Would you rather die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become Toby? Who the fuck is Toby? Who's Toby? And if it's something I should know, sorry, man. You can shoot me in the balls if we ever meet each other in person. But my answer to that question is yes. You can figure out which one I'm saying. I have Amico pre-ordered. Do you think October 10th is still happening? Oh, we're going to go here again. I think if it delays again, nobody will trust Tommy again. Unfortunately, P.S. Come on, Sega, come back. I would love for Sega to come back, but you know what? It would just be another console on the market. We'll talk about shit like that here in a little bit. Well, I don't think it would be as... You could take one of the modern consoles and slap the word Sega on it. What's the fucking difference if they come out with a modern console? Back when I played games as a kid and growing up, you could walk into someone's house. I haven't said this in a long time. You could walk into someone's house and without even looking at the system or the controller, just the screen, and excluding exclusive titles for that system, you'd know exactly what it was by its flavor. Sega wouldn't have that anymore. You know what I mean? Oddly enough, though, Nintendo still does have it, so maybe they could. Maybe they could. Holy fuck me balls! That was next door. My amp fucking crackled. Holy God. All right, so what was I talking about? Oh, the 10th. I'll sum it up again, what I said earlier about the 10th here. Hold on. Mark. I just want to make sure I was addressing the right person. I have a sneaking suspicion, since he didn't mention in E3 the date, it's not going to happen. Do I think it's going to? Yeah, I think it's going to hurt a lot of people's feelings, not literally, but I think I think a handful of people might back out. God damn. I think a lot of people might back out, and that sucks. I mentioned that I'm going to be extremely disappointed, a little less accepting of it, but you know what? You can sit here and do this all day long. It's not going to change anything. I'll be upset, and I'll move on, and eventually I'll get my Founders Edition, and it'll be as if nothing happened. So there you go. Next level, journalists playing less important, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I have no idea what you wrote there, George. Yeah, okay. October 10th is still possible. That miracle can still happen for chips. And you know what, George? You're 100% right. I'm flying out myself from the West Coast. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Maybe we can get a poll together and we can fly me to California to play the fucking thing. Or maybe this new career could help. I don't know. Maybe I'll actually have some fucking money for once in my life. Let's see. I'll be disappointed if it doesn't, but I'm still getting one. Yeah, and I think that's what's going to separate things. I think people, the less patient of the groups, are going to be like, fuck it. The people who are not for it to begin with are going to use it as ammunition. It's going to be this, oh shit, I just felt that through my guitar. Ooh. Fuck it, I'm still playing. This is fucking rock and roll. Well, I was trying to play a little more AC/DC for you, and I fucked it up. It's just going to be more of the same, just more amplified, you know. It's going to cause a little bit more of a division thing, but I'm staying fast where I'm at. I'll be upset. I'll probably puke about it for a day or two, and I'm moving on. All right, let's see. I'll be disappointed. Okay, we already read that. Mark says, damn it. I agree. That does suck. I'll be disappointed as well. Good way to look at it, though. I appreciate you, you know, I mean, I can only relate my feelings and my experience aside from anything else, but Brother Lance, yes, Brother Lance, Johnny UPS says, I missed it. Where and when is the PA event? I am not going to, if someone in the comments want to put it there, because I'm still not sure if it's something that's officially announced yet. So, by all means, Relic Gamer, if you want to, let's see. What else we got going on? George says, I'm still holding out that my games on Amico is just go conversation with the guy. Yeah, okay. Yes, another delay would suck. But if you can get parts, you can't get the parts. Unless someone, yeah. And I've always maintained that if it comes out, it has to come out right. I think a delay would benefit it more than hurt it. As much as it probably could hurt it, you know. The good news is the actual market, and I know it's cliche to say this, but the actual market doesn't know about it yet. A bunch of us do, and I know E3 sparked that a little bit here and there, and there's a bigger umbrella of people who know about it now. But as a whole, I think the only thing that will help it, if it does get delayed again, is the fact that it's not known yet. You know, it's not a thing yet out there. So I don't know. That's just me, but I'm not a business insider. Ride the Lightning, yes. Do I remember how to play that? I could play. Although I'm playing on an old tube amp that's not really set up for fucking thrash. So there's a little fire for you. Let's see. Here's 2 games Tommy has yet to ever mention that I hope Amico will get: Beauty and the Beast and a sequel to Tropical Trouble. I don't know anything about Tropical Trouble, but Beauty and the Beast, god damn, when I first popped that in and played it, I'm like, this is a fucking... To me, it was a hidden gem. I had never played it in the past, didn't know anything about it. I saw Beauty and the Beast and assumed what a lot of other people might assume. But then when I got a copy of it and popped it in, I was like, ooh, wait a minute, what is this? So I referred to my good buddy, Mr. Phil of the No Swear Gamer variety, and he explained the game to me, and I was like, not that there was much to explain, but I just literally popped in and said, okay, this ain't what I thought it was. Phil, tell me a little bit about this. Love it. Love that game. And you're right, it needs to come. Beauty and the Beast is on the list. I believe it is on the list. I just don't think it's going yet. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that Intellivision has on the list that's procured and secured, but it's not things that are being worked on yet. They're working on the initial, again, like I was talking about with the original titles. It's not coming out right away. They got to work on it, and let's get this going, and then expand upon it rather than, you know what I mean? So I do remember that. I think there is Beauty and the Beast game coming. Okay, so all right, it's being. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So everyone's mirroring what I was just saying. Tommy has mentioned Beauty and the Beast. Plus, he has rights to the Magic IPs. He does. Let's see. Beauty and the Beast was superior to Donkey Kong on the original Intellivision. Oh my God, there's a lot of things superior to the original Donkey Kong on the Intellivision, but people like it, so I'll leave it be. I liked Burger Time on the Atari. I'm not saying it was better than Intellivision. I think the Intellivision port is the best home port ever, and that's including NES, because the NES. What we need is Atlantis. Atlantis is amazing. There's a game that, you know how every now and again these YouTubers will come out and be like, 5 movies that everyone loves, but I don't? Or 5 movies everyone loves, but I've never seen? You could put Atlantis on that list for me as far as games. You choose the system. Atlantis, I don't know if I've ever given that one the time of day. I didn't play it growing up, so I've never really truly given it its day in court. I'm willing to bet most Amicos sold will be from us Gen X gamers. You know what? Maybe. I don't know. 10% of families buying hardcore gamers will support this most. Yes, Atlantis. You know what? I don't... See, okay. I've never spoken on this. The whole thing with the mom market, we'll just call it that. I know it's more than that. This is how I feel the mom market's going to do. Especially here in the town I live in, the moms here are very, I don't want to say trendy, but they're very, I don't know what the word is. But when it comes to like the kids and the new, whatever's new, they're all about it. Whether it be like making them listen to this while they're sleeping or, that kind of thing. The well-being thing, And much like with other consoles aimed at kids, like, say, what was that, Leapster or something? I'm not comparing them. I think there's going to be a broad mom market that's going to probably purchase Amico on that alone. Now, what happens afterwards, I'll let research and marketing dictate that or predict that anyway, because I can't. But I think a lot of it's going to be purchased on the idea that this is aimed towards them, and it's a new hot thing. And I think a lot of that purchase is going to be because of that reason. Their purchase is going to be that for that reason. Let's see, Burger Time. on the television took 3 months to program. The designer wanted to finish early before his wedding. Really? I didn't know that. Thank you for some history. That's great. It took 3 months to program. The designer wanted to finish early before his wedding. You know what? Can you imagine? You know what, honey? I know we're supposed to get married tomorrow, but I got to finish developing Burger Time. This thing's a masterpiece. All right, so I'm gonna call it that for now tonight. We've been on here for a little while, a lot longer than I originally anticipated. But before I give all my thank yous, if anyone has any more Amico-related questions that you either haven't heard me talk about or whatever, that's mainly what this is for, really, today. Because I think, because of the reasons I mentioned earlier, I think I'm letting it be. I think I'm going to let the whole Amico thing be, unless, of course, there's actual news. You know what I mean? A new game announced, or he does announce the date, or, whatever. You get what I'm saying. Unless there's like legit something new to talk about, I think because of the reasons I mentioned earlier, I'm just going to let it be. I'm not ever giving up my Founders Edition, regardless. I want that right now more than anything. And yeah, I'm still totally pro Amico. I think I'm anti that very small clique of Amico fans and Amico naysayers. And the things that I saw being discussed over the last week, it disgusted me. And both sides, by the way, both sides. And I had to say to myself, these are grown fucking men. These are grown fucking men. And it's not the obvious people you're thinking of. Like, I'm not talking about the OEB Pete's and stuff like that. That's really it. So if anyone doesn't have anything else, have you saved trip A? Have a safe trip, AC. Let's head into the event. Looking forward to meeting you. You guys, do something for me there. I don't know what it is, but while you're there, if you're the type that does this YouTube crap, do something. I want to be there in a spirit. Bring a picture of me or something, If you want me to send you a naked picture of me, I'll do that. You can bring that. Just know that there are probably going to be families there. You might not want to do that. Maybe I'll just flash a nip or something. But you get what I'm saying. Be there for me, guys. In spirit, please. Because I still think it's fucking bittersweet. I mean, I'm going to Disney, so once I'm there, I'm not going to give a shit. But I'm legit butthurt. I'm fucking butthurt that me of all motherfuckers don't get to play this shit when it's 3 hours away from me. But that's it, guys. Hey, I want to thank each and every one of you who came by to hang out with me this afternoon. I really appreciate it. Tony and Auto Necro, thank you guys for the couple of bucks. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully, I didn't miss another one in there. Okay, there's Tony's. There's Auto Necro's. Okay, so it was just the two of you. Okay, good. Because I hate to not give credit where credit's due. But thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. And, it was more therapeutic than it was entertaining, I suppose. But I do appreciate each and every one of you. Again, this means a lot to me. It really does. You don't always have to be positive here. Just don't be a dickhead. That's all I ask. And I'll leave on this note. The career I started today, they have a no asshole policy. And that's in writing. That's one of their core values. No assholes. Guys, I hope you have a great afternoon. I really do. Or evening. And until next time, I hope you're doing well. Take care. Creep it real. And bye-bye. Have a great night, everyone.